Hello everybody, I'm Maxi. Welcome to a new episode. For my regular viewers, do you still remember those 90 family titles we talked about in the last episode? The water here in Chinese is way deeper than just that. We don't only have an insanely developed system to call all your relatives and family members. We also have this thing, basically you can say fake relatives or fake family members. It's really hard to translate them into English. The closest thing I think I can find is godmother and godfather, but what we have here is not related to religion at all. Those things here are more social. Chinese has a developed system of kinship terms to describe social relationships, not just your biological relationships. And I've already seen many mistakes in translation into English. Some words got translated into things like adopted father, stepfather. That's totally not the same thing. Okay, in this episode, let me talk about all these fake relatives that we have. Okay, so first, in Chinese, there is this kind of family members called yi something. The character yi, basically it means a greater moral cause. So basically, you can say the yi something is a kind of bond established through moral commitment, duty, recognized obligation, something like that. All your biological family members can have a counterpart of this kind, although you may not necessarily always have one. So for father, 爸爸, you can have a 义父, and for mother, 妈妈, you can also have a 义母. And then for older brother, 哥哥, you can also have 义兄. You can hear a lot of these titles when you watch Chinese period dramas. And if you have watched my previous video, the one that talk about family members, you may have noticed that the words here for father, mother, brother are the formal version. So I think it's not hard to decipher that this yi something is something formal. Yes, exactly. I think the closest thing I've seen in Western media is the Night Watch in Game of Thrones. They sort of swore to be brothers, and that is close to what I'm talking about here. So this yi something used to be a really big deal in the old times. If you want people to know that you are really close to someone or that you are really committed to the same greater cause, you can perform some rituals to become each other's yi family members. And then if you introduce someone to others by family titles like this, people would immediately know that you are not biologically related, but that now you are families. So you can say this is a kind of chosen family. I think if I have to translate 义父 into English, the closest thing I can come up with is sworn father. I'm not sure if this is really a thing in English or if the meaning is really perceivable, but that's what it is. You swear to be each other's chosen family members, and many of the times you swear to serve the same greater cause or something like that. And for this kind of relationships, usually you only see those of the same generation or of one generation apart. You can have a sworn father, sworn mother, you can have a sworn son, sworn daughter, or you can have sworn siblings, but usually you don't see anything beyond. Because even if you are like 50 years apart, you can still swear to be fathers and sons. And that's usually what people did. They don't swear to become grandfather and grandson. But if you really have to swear to become those things, we do have words for them. So for grandpa, you can have a 义祖父. We don't distinguish whether it's from father's side or mother's side here because it's not a real family. You just say 义祖父 for grandpa. And for grandma, you can have a 义祖母. And for grandson, you can have a 义孙. For granddaughter, you can have a 义孙女. But these four are really rare. Usually, you just see fathers, mothers, son, daughter. And then for your 义父 and 义母, their parents, you can call them 义祖母, 义祖父. But it's also common for people just to say they are the parents of your 义父, 义母. So this system is not as watertight as the real family title system. Okay, Those yi something are no longer common nowadays. If someone nowadays tells you that they have a yi fu or yi mu, that would feel really weird. But there is another kind of family members that got preserved, and it's basically the same thing to the yi something. And this system is called gan something. This one is much more casual. You don't need to swear to anyone or anything. So in this system, for father, 爸爸, you can have a 干爹. For mom, 妈妈, you can have a 干妈. For son, 儿子, you can have a 干儿子. For daughter, 女儿, you can have a 干女儿. I have no idea why they use the character 干 here. When this character is an adjective, usually it means dry. So you cannot say this is my dry father, right? So I don't know why this character is here. But this is how we call them. Like I said before, this system is much more casual than the yi something and is much more commonly seen. So a common scenario may be your mother's bestie is really close to your family. You spend a lot of time together. She really likes you and you really like her. And then you choose to be each other's 干 family members. She becomes your 干妈 and you become her 干儿子 or 干女儿. I guess many of you know that famous chili crisp brand, 老干妈. Now you know what this name means. She is a senior female chosen family member in your family. And for the parents of your 干爹 and 干妈, the parents of your 干爹 are your 干爷爷 and 干奶奶. The parents of your 干妈 are your 干外公 and 干外婆. And this system, I really don't know how to translate. We cannot call them sworn father or sworn mother, right? Because you don't swear to become them. And it's definitely not as serious as the sworn fathers and sworn mothers. So if any of you have some good ideas for translating this, please comment down below. Okay, there is another common fake family that you can see a lot in the academic world or in the martial art factions. If you read wuxia novels or watch wuxia dramas in Chinese, you can hear a lot of this. Your mentor and your fellow students are also seen as a kind of family. Well, you don't call your mentor by a family title. You just call them 师傅 in the old times, or in today's martial art world, or in today's academic world, you call them your 导师. So for your fellow students, based on their genders and the time that they become your mentor's students, you distinguish them into older brothers, older sisters, and younger sisters. So for older brothers, we have 师兄, and for younger brothers, we have 师弟. For older sisters, we have 师姐, and for younger sisters, we have 师妹. Again, remember, this has nothing to do with their real age. It depends on the time that they become your mentor's students. So even if a female fellow student is much older than you, like by 20 years, but she became your mentor's student much later than you, she is still your 师妹. That's how this system works. And besides all these academic siblings, your mentor's spouse is also in the system. Your mentor's husband is called 师丈. The character 丈 here is short for 丈夫, which is the formal version for husband. And your mentor's husband is called your 师丈. And then if it's a wife, your mentor's wife is called 师母. Mu is the formal version for mother, we talked about in the previous video. So here, the two words are not really strictly a pair. The wife version doesn't have a formal wife character in it. It's called 师母. So that's your mentor's spouse. They are also in the system. And then your mentor's mentor is treated as your grandparent. So if your mentor's mentor is a man, he is your 师公. And if your mentor's mentor is a woman, she is your 师婆. And then, of course, their mentors are treated as your great-grandparents. So then, if it's a man, that's your 太师公. And if it's a woman, that's your 太师婆. And then, of course, you can go 太 for the generations above them, but usually they are generalized into one word, 师祖. 祖 means ancestor. So you see the literal meaning here. 师祖. Okay, then, when there are parents, of course, parents can have siblings, right? Your academic parents have their fellow students, and they are treated as your academic uncles and aunties. Their titles here are developed from the biological uncles and aunties from your father's side. So your mentor's academic older brothers are your 师伯. Your mentor's younger academic brothers are your 师叔. Your mentor's academic sisters are your 师姑. Just like the biological version, when it's an aunt, you don't need to tell whether she's older or younger. You just call all of them your 师姑. Okay, so they are your 师伯, 师叔, and 师姑. So what you are to them? In the biological system, you are a nephew or a niece, right? And here, all of you, whether you are a man or a woman, you are all called 师侄. Remember what we talked about in the previous video? 侄 is the word for nephew and niece. Here, all of you are 师侄. This system is still very commonly used in today's academic world here. Well, some people tend to use it more, some people tend to use it less, but we still use them. And fortunately, you don't need to distinguish whether someone is from father's side or mother's side, because again, it's not a real family, it's not biological. So this makes them much easier to remember than the real biological framework. Okay, that is today's video. I hope it's helpful. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope this can make it easier for you if you are reading some Chinese novels or watching some dramas or studying some historic text. Again, if you like this video, if you like what I do, please like, subscribe, hype, share, or you can join my membership program to support me financially. There are also some extra content in it. The join button is here below this video if you have already subscribed, or you can find it on my channel page. Again, thanks everybody for watching this far. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.